What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some more Series 8 Wi-Fi battles with live commentary. Today, we're trying out Necrozma Dawn Wings. This is a pretty cool team created by RichibanGaming, and I'll include his info below. Cybertron is also looking for a Necrozma team, and I found this on the comments in one of his Twitter threads, and I'm really excited to try it out. I think it does some really cool things, particularly you have 3 Trick Room users with Necrozma, Porygon, and Stack Attacka. So that's actually really exciting to see that you do have multiple ways, and it's really going to be hard for an opponent to stop that, or you can reverse it if need be. You also do have Lipard with Copycat, so you can do the strategy of maxing Necrozma, using Trick Room for the max guard, and then immediately copycatting for Trick Room. You also do have Torkoal with no Venusaur, which is particularly interesting, taking advantage of the fact that Torkoal really is so slow and functions so well under Trick Room. And finally, you have Assault Vest Vikavolt, which I think is really interesting. And I think the fact that it has Thunder means that this is another flexible option to Dynamax because you don't really have rain support with it. I think this team, like I said, is really cool. I think it uses some really interesting Pokemon in some unique ways, and hopefully we can get some really cool games going with it. So with that, let's just hop into the first one. All right, battle number 1, and oh, nice. It is a Solgaleo team. So it is Tapu Fini, Thundurus, Porygon with Solgaleo, Milotic, and what's his face, and Landorus. So, this is tricky. I am very tempted to go for the Necrozma Liepard strategy. They don't really have a good way, as far as I can see, to stop it. Does this Porygon have Eerie Impulse? I probably should play more with these teams before hopping into these games. It is Eerie Impulse Porygon, so I'm tempted. Eerie Impulse is actually pretty useless. I do like Stack Attacka, and then Vikavolt I think can be really useful against things like the Milotic and the Tapu Fini. Yeah, let's bring this in the back. They can't. The thing is, they can stop Trick Room by reversing it with Porygon. Uh, but what I could do then, so that's the mind game, right? If they lead with Porygon, do I copycat their Trick Room, or do I try and set up my own? Because what I can do is I can expect them. Well, actually, if they reverse the Trick Room, I don't actually care. So what I can do is I can either not go for Trick Room expecting them to reverse it, or go for the strategy. But okay, so they're leading Double Genie, which, as long as it's not Prankster Thundurus, actually, even if it is Prankster Thundurus, we are good. So we can, yeah, this is a little bit tricky. But yeah, we can max guard here, and then we can copycat. Oh yeah, you don't. You copycat with Lipard. So this will set up Trick Room for me, and then given how fast both of their things are, okay, so yeah, they're gonna max Thundurus, which is pretty good because it means that it is gonna be that Defiant Assault Vest variant as opposed to a Prankster variant, which I think could be really difficult to deal with. But yeah, Sheer Force Landorus is going to be really scary. That thing really packs a huge punch, and it means that I can't as easily just like go for attacks because it is gonna just bite into me. But getting off that Trick Room, I think, is going to be super beneficial. It kind of, I mean, it guarantees that I'm going to go first, and then I can do some big damage. So, yep, there's the max guard. Then Lipard should be able to copycat that. Yep, copycat for the Trick Room. I love this strategy. I actually think it's super cool and definitely underutilized. It does cost you one of your turns of max, unfortunately, but it does really set you up for the late game. And yep, Lipard goes down to its sash, but Lipard has done its job. Oh, I actually wish they had double targeted into Lipard for the free switch. This is tricky. What type is Necrozma? It's Psychic Ghost. Um, I'm gonna Mindstorm in here, and then I'm gonna actually double up into the Thunderous. I'm gonna Fake Tears. I mean, not the Thunderous, into the Landorus. I think that's it's probably not the best option because this Max Darkness actually, yeah, that was actually a really bad play because Max Darkness is most likely just gonna one shot my Necrozma. Yeah, I should have just risked the Defiant boost for the Fake Tears because at this point, yeah, Necrozma's not doing much. I mean, not Necrozma. Landorus wasn't doing much. And what this is going to do is it's going to give them a free, yep, Max Darkness. And there's no way Necrozma lives. This is actually, I spoke way too soon. Necrozma is a lot bulkier than I had realized. So, what do I have in the back? I'm trying to think if it makes sense at this point to rather, because Thunderous also only has one turn of max left, and I don't want to trigger its Defiant boost. They are going to bring out Tapu Fini. Fini. Which is actually really smart because they do switch the terrain back to Misty. I do have Stack Attack. Stack Attack I can deal with Thunderous very well. So I'd actually rather... I'm going to double up into... I feel like the double up is so obvious, though. Into Tapu Fini. I'm going to go for it anyway. Because at this point, I actually... Okay, so they're not going to protect Tapu Fini. I actually don't really mind if Necrozma goes down. Because that lets me safely bring out my Stack Attacker, which should easily be able to deal with this... Thunderous, especially now that its max is over, because I have options like Stone Edge. So then so it becomes a game of can I hit Stone Edge, which should be fine. Yeah, I'm fine losing Necrozma here for the free switch in to Stack Attacker, but like I do feel like I'm in a really good position given the fact that I do have Stack Attacker under a Trick Room, which is just such a strong threat, and I do have Vikavolt in the back, which makes it like even better. The only question is what do they have left? And it is just a little bit tricky with oh yeah, they have obviously what do they have left? They have Solgaleo. Yeah, this just is a little bit tricky now because Stack Attacker is really my best option into both of these. So I'm just gonna go for that. I like can't really do anything. What was the last move used? It was Max Darkness, right? Yeah, it was Max Darkness. I'm gonna just go for the Copycat because that should hopefully, or we get a Wide Guard, which doesn't matter. So this is actually one of the huge benefits of Stone Edge is now I don't have to worry about getting stopped by Wide Guard, and I think that that's a really big surprise element because now their Thunderous just went down, and now it is 3v1 with Solgaleo versus the Stack Attacker, and they can't max, and I think the best option is Body Press into it, and then I can Snarl with oh no, I don't want to Snarl. I'm going to just go for Copycat again because I don't want to trigger a weakness policy because that's the big fear. So now I can get a Stone Edge, which, I mean, has the chance... Oh, whoa, what? Oh, Psychic Terrain stops priority. Very smart. That's cool. Critical hit, I think... this is a little bit tricky because now... I think I still need to Trick Room. I'm going to Trick Room, and I'm going to switch out to Vikavolt, because I'm guessing they don't think at this point um, Lipard is a threat. So getting in that that second attacker is really big. Oh, very smart. So can I live this earthquake? 120 down to, yeah, down to 40. Good to know. So Stack Attack is able to live. We are able to get that Trick Room back up. And now they are forced to go last after a body press and probably a Bug Buzz, right? Yeah. Bug Buzz does the most damage. So just trying to chip as much with as possible. So body press is going to do another third. And then hopefully Vikavolt picks up the knockout. Vikavolt, yeah, nice. So Vikavolt coming in clutch, I think, yeah, Lipard with this Necrozma is such a powerful combination because you can fake tier. You have the Trick Room immediately, then you can fake tiers to knock something out. And without Psychic Terrain, your opponents really are in a pretty tricky spot. Yeah, let's see if their Solgaleo had weakness policy. Interesting. Wow, very interesting items. Wave Incense on Tapu Fini with Brine. You have Shell Bell on Thundurus, which, yeah, we didn't see it do anything, so it makes sense. No superpower, interestingly. They have, yeah, Violet Porygon with no Trick Room. Interesting. Max, yep, they have a weakness policy Solgaleo with Wide Guard, which I thought was very cool, and then competitive Milotic with Nevermelt Ice. This is a wonky team. Definitely wonky for sure. Yeah, definitely Life Orb there. But I mean, we pulled it off, and that's always cool, and let's keep riding the high and move right to the next game. All right, game number 2, and this is interesting. It is a what is it? It is Dragonite with Articuno, Lapras. There is a Kyogre, Regieleki, and Tyranitar. Torkoal I like. I think Torkoal is really big. Being able to swap the weather is huge. Porygon is also really big here. So is Vikavolt. A lot of Stack Attack is also relevant. I'm tempted to do Porygon Torkoal. Because they can also switch the weather. I think, yeah, Porygon Torkoal with Necrozma, and then, yeah, Vikavolt hits into so much of their team, but so does Stack Attack. Stack Attack, it doesn't really hit into too much of their team, and I'd rather have the boost of the Assault Vest. So I think this makes the most sense. I only have, what am I saying? I have two ways to set up Trick Room. They don't really have a good way to deny it. So I think the plan is to turn 1, just try and set that up with Porygon. Yeah, because what's nice is Torkoal will at least be able to change the weather. Okay, so they're going to do Aleki Lapras. So they're going to go straight for a Resonance, and what I think... nice. Regieleki is giving me that special attack boost. Or not the special attack boost, the boost with electric moves. So I think definitely want a Trick Room, and I don't know if Lapras is policy, so I don't want to trigger it without finding it out. Because, yeah, that's the problem with Lapras, is there's so many options where it's like, traditionally it used to all be Light Clay, but people are experimenting with weakness policy and Life Orb, and all of them I think are equally viable, and there's no really good way for me to know. So I'm guessing it is policy. Volt Switch into, yeah, you're probably gonna double up into Porygon. Okay, so it is Life Orb on Aleki. So I do think Lapras has Kyogre would be a really good switch. Yeah, there's Kyogre. So they're gonna resonance. They're gonna resonance into most likely Porygon to stop the Trick Room. Yep, there's resonance. It's going to hit into Porygon 127. It just needs to be. Yep, yeah. Porygon takes that really well, which is going to let me set up a Trick Room, and it's going to be a weak erupt. Yeah, this eruption is going to do nothing. Oh my god, I did so little. But we do successfully set up Trick Room, and now the question is, honestly, I kind of want to. I want to essentially lose both, but let's Eerie Impulse the Kyogre. Yeah, Eerie Impulse the Kyogre, and Body Press into it. The fear is Lapras' Perish Song. Yeah, so I need to create a scenario where they can't safely Perish Song, but I also like want a double knockout this turn. And also, oh, yeah, that the resonance just is so good. Max Lightning into Porygon. Porygon is going to go down to 31, and then most likely, if they Origin Pulse with Kyogre, that'll be interesting. They're gonna just go for the Water Spout. -2. Yeah, okay, so that is a double knockout, and this is a little bit tricky now because of the fact that if this is Perish Song Lapras, I am in a really bad position, but I can still play around with Trick Room, so I can make it so if I can get them down to 2. Well, no, they're at 4. Ugh. Just kidding. Fight Moongeist. I'm gonna Photon Geyser the Lapras and Max Lightning. Yeah, this Max Lightning should be 140. I could double up the Lapras. I think doubling up the Lapras makes sense. This is a Max Vikavolt. I should have actually waited. I should have waited until the max is over. That's what I should have done. I should have targeted Kyogre this turn. Because now what I could have done then is guaranteed to get some chip damage. Because now what I'm doing is I'm risking it living. And if it is weakness policy, like I'm in a really bad spot. Luckily, their team is very special. Oh, so nice. It worked out that I doubled up into the Lapras, or we don't even need to worry because I'm guessing that crit mattered, but yeah, Vikavolt really, really holding it down. Vikavolt isn't going to be worried too much about Regieleki, and now that Kyogre is at -2, so they probably will switch. I expect to switch from Kyogre because I expect, okay, yeah, so Articuno is going to come in this slot, and then I expect them to switch out Kyogre to Regieleki. So I'm going to Earth Power this slot, and then Max Lightning into the Articuno slot. Because that makes the most sense, right? You want to get Kyogre as healthy as possible, and so you need to make the switch, and expecting an electric type an electric move into that slot, only to switch out to Regieleki makes the most sense. So this is a bit of an aggressive read, but I think if I get it, it really pays off. But now it's just like, it is my opponent. Oh, they did not. Okay, so they didn't take the bait, which is fine. I do connect with the Lightning through the Protect for a little bit of extra chip, and we do get an Earth Power into the Kyogre, which, yeah, my opponent stayed in, a little bit tricky, but at the same time that happens. Water Spout is going to do nothing at this point, and this is now my last turn of Max. I'm going to Moongeist Beam and Lightning into the Kyogre slot. Yeah, what's tricky now is now if my opponent does the switch out as opposed to last turn, what that lets them do is I think this is the last turn of Trick Room, so they can bring out Kyogre with almost, I mean, a decent amount of HP, enough to go for a Water Spout, but I think because of the fact that Vikavolt is Assault Vested, I should be in a good position. Nice, they're going to protect on Kyogre. Still I'm able to get the lightning off. This is going to do pretty sizable chunk. Not a sizable chunk, but it does mean that if I can knock out the Articuno with this Moongeist Beam, they're forced to have Regieleki and Kyogre in, and I should be in a really good position. Articuno is going to... Nice, wow. Necrozma is hitting a lot harder than I really gave it credit for. I was actually really afraid of using it and having it not do that much damage, but it's doing a really good job. But now it's a little bit tricky because there is no Trick Room left. I could go for it again. I'm trying to think. I think the safer play is to go for Trick Room. Right? The safer play is to create... I'm trying to think, because what? If I go for straight damage and I don't knock out, I want to be in a position where I can come back. And that helps to stall out... their Aurora... it's not going to stall out their Aurora Veil. So, yeah, I'm going to Trick Room, and I'm going to Volt Switch into the Kyogre, and then I feel like a double up should be enough. Okay, ooh, Rising Voltage into Necrozma. Necrozma goes down, which is really unfortunate. Regieleki is Life Orb. We are going to see the Origin Pulse connect onto Vikavolt. Vikavolt's going to go from 156 down to 89, and hopefully this Volt Switch knocks out Kyogre. Okay. So it knocks out the Kyogre, and now there is no electric terrain, so Rising Voltage loses its strength. Yeah. What can I do? Bug Buzz does the most amount of damage, and yeah, I am Assault Vest, so I don't have any item. I mean, not any item, any form of Protect. So what has to happen is I need... Oh, they're still going to go for Rising Voltage. Rising Voltage managed to live, and now... Oh, God. Crit. So can I knock you out with a Bug Buzz with Vikavolt at this range? And... Oh, so close. Yeah, and Rising Voltage is 100% accuracy. That crit really did matter, because I would have been able to live another one, which is frustrating. I mean, that's a bit unfortunate, but it was so... I think it was so close that it didn't really matter. I think maybe the correct play would have been to protect Necrozma. Would that have made more sense instead of going for... Well, no, because I didn't expect it to have Rising Voltage, and I didn't expect it to knock out, but I feel like I always kind of underestimate how strong Life Orb really is. But I think, yeah, it was so close that Necrozma just did a ton of work, and I think even Vikavolt has been very surprising and very cool. So let's just keep that in mind and move to the third game. Actually, before we do that, let's see the opponent's team. I'm very curious, particularly... So they had Muscle Band, Dragonite. Interesting. That is cool. You don't see that too often. Focus Sash on Articuno, so I'm actually really glad that I was able to get some chip damage onto it. Yeah, okay, so it was Light Clay Lapras with Rest and no Parasong. Interesting. Kyogre with Mystic Water makes sense. Pretty standard Kyogre here. We do have Life Orb on the Aleki with Electroweb, Protect, Rising Voltage, and Volt Switch. Yeah, that is a bummer that I think... Tyranitar Assault Vest, pretty standard, and yeah, back to Dragonite. Yeah, I do think that if I had protected with Necrozma instead of trying to Trick Room, I mean, I guess Rising Voltage, I just didn't expect Rising Voltage which props to my opponent because that was able to take me out. And I don't know if like something else would have, but they found an avenue and they were able to come back. And it was a shame that I was just like a little bit short of finishing with Vikavolt, but that's fine. Like I said, still really happy with the game, and let's just go to the next one. Game number 3, and wow, we are seeing a lot of no restricted teams lately. So it is Togekiss with Meowstic, Dusclops, the Jellicent, Metagross, and Snorlax. This is tricky because, this is tricky. Trick Room is obviously tempting. Vikavolt's huge. Necrozma. I could just go Necrozma Vikavolt. I also do like Liepard for the fact that it has Fake Out and Snarl, which can be really big. But I think it's irrelevant. I think Necrozma Vikavolt, just go for as much damage as possible, as early as possible. Stack Attacka, and then I'm trying to think what is the best last spot. Liepard probably not. Porygon is tempting. I think Torkoal. Right? Torkoal hits into... I'm just really worried about their Metagross and their Snorlax. But I think Necrozma and then Vikavolt maxing again. Yeah, Vikavolt maxing with just Max Lightning, I think should be the best option. And then it lets me use... what is the Necrozma move? Moongeist Beam? I think, yeah, having Moongeist Beam be available rather than going for a max is a smarter option. I do expect there to be the policy on Metagross, so that is definitely something to watch out for. So they're going to do Meowstic Snorlax. What? Belly Drum on... God, I wish I had Taunt right now. So, let's see. Moongeist Beam here, and we could max Steel Spike. No, because Torkoal is slower than Snorlax. So, yeah, the fear is the berry. Yeah, this is tricky. I think, though, this does make more sense. A Steel Spike actually probably would have been nice. But if they go... Yeah, there's no way that they go for something like Belly Drum. Because, they could. And then it's a question of, does Vikavolt do enough? Okay, so they're not maxing. Which, it obviously makes sense if you're trying to go for Belly Drum. And then... I don't think Meowstic gets Follow Me. Right? If they do, then things are a little bit scary. But even not necessarily that scary. Meowstic is going to go for Ally Switch. That's bad. That's really bad. Because I Moongeist Beamed into Snorlax. And, yep, that lets it safely get off a Belly Drum. Good to know, though, that, Vikavolt goes after Snorlax. Figgy Berry. Oh, wow. That's perfect. Yeah, it gets into Figgy range. This is going to... Wow, that didn't even do nearly as much as I would have liked. So now they have a +6 Snorlax. I'm going to Photon Geyser into Snorlax, and let's max Lightning in the event they go for an Ally Switch again. Yeah, this is tricky. Ally Switch makes this hard. Not having Liepard also makes this hard. Yeah, this is a match where I should have actually set up Trick Room. Trick Room would have been the right play, because now what is happening is their Snorlax is faster than my max. So if they choose just to... Yeah, and there's the max. So if they choose just to max strike this turn into Vikavolt, I can't really do... Oh, and they can recycle their berry. Ugh. Snorlax is so good. Yeah, I don't even think a defense boost would have mattered that much. Oh, please ally switch. Nope. I mean, that is solid chunk onto Snorlax. Snorlax is going to Max Quake into Necrozma. Yep, into Necrozma. Necrozma's going to go down. And then, yes, that crit definitely mattered. And then that's going to let Meowstic take a Max Lightning. But I think it should still... Max Lightning should still knock it out with the electric terrain. And it is going to... Okay, so it does knock it out, which is good. I think Stack Attacker is probably the better option because of the fact that it has the air balloon, so it avoids Max Quake. So they would have to hit it with most likely what they have: Max Quake, they have Max Strike, they might have Max Darkness. So I could, I can double up into Snorlax this turn. The problem is the Snorlax is going to hit first. So let's see what they bring. If they bring Dusclops, it does get a little bit tricky. But it is nice to know that their Metagross isn't maxing. I might actually Trick Room. I think Trick Room is actually the better play. Because then Torkoal... Yeah, because that lets Torkoal move first. Especially if they're bringing out Metagross. I want to be in a position where Torkoal can really just like put in work. So I'm going to actually Trick Room first, and then Lightning into Snorlax, because Metagross doesn't scare me too much. But now I'm relying on my Stack Attack of Living. They know I don't have weakness policy, which is beneficial to them. So I think if they want to hit into my... I hope they hit into Vikavolt. Yeah. That's the idea. And then that'll let me hopefully live a hit from Metagross. Maybe they forgot I don't have... Oh, nice. Oh, huge. Okay, that's actually really good. They miss the Meteor Mash and Vikavolt. I do lose Vikavolt, but that does let me bring out what's his face? Lets me bring out Torkoal. And then it is a +1 special defense, but I think between... It does get... I mean, yeah, that's going to get some some chip onto the Snorlax, albeit very little, but I will take it. And then I can bring out Torkoal. They do have one turn of max left. But I think between Body Press and Eruption, I think Eruption should... Yeah, because this is a Charcoal Torkoal at full HP. I think Body Press onto the Snorlax and Eruption should take out at least the Metagross, right? I would be shocked if Metagross can live from an Eruption in the sun with Stab super effective full HP, right? Yeah. And so then the question then is, how much is it going to do into Snorlax, and is the combination of Body Press and Eruption going to be enough? Because this Snorlax, it does have so much HP. And the situation is tricky. I think being under Trick Room was the right play. They're going to Ally Switch. What? I didn't even know Metagross got Ally Switch. Body Press into Metagross is going to do a decent chunk, and then Eruption. Yeah. They're going to now be able to basically just free knockout into... Yep, so into Torkoal. Torkoal's going to go down. And now it's Stack Attacka versus whatever they have left. Oh, that's so tricky. Yeah, I did not expect Ally Switch on Metagross. So it looks like this whole team... Okay, so I'm guessing we're going to make a read. Actually, we're going to double check. Does Jellicent get Ally Switch? Come on. Sorry, throwing out my charger. If it does, it definitely does, right? There's no way. I feel like this whole team is just built around ally switch. Wait, does it get ally switch? Oh, God, I can't. There's no good way for me to check. Trick room, facade, how much time do I have? 10 seconds. Okay, I don't know. We're going to body press into Snorlax and pray that I wasn't wrong. And okay, cool. There is no body press, or not. Snorlax goes down, so now it is Stakataka versus Jellicent. And I am going to get the Beast Boost. It's a defense boost. You're going to reverse my Trick Room. Okay, that's fine. I do have Stone Edge. So what? I'm afraid of Will-O-Wisp? Yeah, that is tricky because they can stall out Strength Sap. That is going to do... Oh, that just lowers my attack. And you gain... Yeah, but luckily, Stone Edge has a... Okay. I was going to say, luckily, I have a high critical hit ratio. But now... that's tricky. This is turn 1 of being disabled. How many more turns? Move disabled. Oh my, that's so many turns. I just have to put on damage. Oh, and I hit the wrong spot. It doesn't matter. Strength Sap. Yeah, it's just going to drain my attack. What is nice, though, that's tricky, is that Stone Edge does have a high... Wow, back to full. Does have a high critical hit ratio. So it's not... Or... Yeah, so crits are what's going to determine this. I don't even know if that thing can do damage to me. But the question is, can I get another... Yeah, but Strength Sap recovers based on what my attack is. So this Jellicent should be getting less and less. So even at -6... Even at -6... But what? They definitely have Scald, right? There's no way they don't. Trick Room actually might have been better this turn. Okay, so they have Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is going to do 160. Oh, wow, that did a lot more. Oh, ooh, I can live one more. So I need... Yeah, and I don't have Protect on Stack Attacker, so I need to hit Stone Edge, and I need a critical hit. That's my only chance. Or you're just going to Strength Sap again. I don't... Yeah, the Strength Sap is such a pain. Let's see. I do have a high critical hit chance with Stone Edge. Stone Edge connects. Please connect. Please crit. Doesn't crit. Please don't get disabled. Yeah. I mean, them going for Strength Sap is fine, I think. Shadow Ball, I should be able to live this. Right? It'll be close. Yep, 9. Stone Edge misses. And now... they're just going to Shadow Ball and... Oh, they're going to Strength Sap. Okay, I don't know why they are still Strength Sapping when I'm at 9 and giving me a chance to come back. But I need a hit. Please crit. High critical hit chance. Nice. Okay. I should have lost, but my opponent misplayed, and I'm very thankful for that, for sure. Nice. Glad we were able to pull out in the end. That was definitely really scary. I think my team being so slow made it... really gave my opponent a chance to set up with that Snorlax, and I think the fact that there were so many ally switches, particularly on that Metagross, really threw me off, but the Strength Sap, when they didn't need to, was a weird play on their part. But glad we were able to pull that off. We do, like I said, only have... After this, we have 3 restricteds left. We have Mewtwo, Giratina, and Reshiram left, which is exciting, and hopefully we can show those teams off before the end of the season. And yeah, with that, I will see all of you next time, and I hope until then all of you are wonderful.